Welcome to the Simplify Your Life podcast, where we talk about how to create a life you won't need an escape from. I'm Coach Simone, author of the book 111 Ways to Simplify Your Life, and I'm glad you decided to tune in. In today's podcast episode, we're going to talk about the avoidant attachment style in relationships. And I'm going to share with you how the avoidant individual acts in the dating scene, the most common signs of having an avoidant attachment style, what to expect in a potential breakup, and the road to healing and becoming more secure. Now let's start with a brief recap of the 4 attachment styles in relationships. The first one is secure attachment, and there are 3 types of insecure attachment: anxious, avoidant, and disorganized, also known as fearful avoidant. I've put together a free YouTube playlist with all the episodes on attachment theory, so you can catch up on the series at youtube.com/Coach Simone. Now let's go back to the avoidant attachment style. What does it mean and where does it come from? Avoidantly attached people are self-sufficient, independent, dislike true intimacy, and tend to push away their partners when they get too close. They have commitment issues and would rather focus on their work, passions, or personal projects than spend time with their partners. Avoidant attachment style often comes from having an unresponsive, disinterested, or neglectful parent or primary caretaker. Another common reason for developing an avoidant attachment style is being discouraged from showing emotions growing up, being criticized or rejected for trying to seek closeness from your caregivers. Now let's discuss the potential signs of an avoidant attachment style. If you feel like your partner is suffocating you, constantly asking you for things, and making you want to escape every time they get closer to you, then you might be avoidantly attached. You probably prefer spending time on your own, struggle with intimacy, find it hard to build a connection with someone else, often feel misunderstood, or have been called inconsiderate, cold, or dismissive by your romantic partners. You might have trouble reading other people's emotions, have a hard time receiving criticism, can't open up, and feel like you never have enough me time. Now, what happens when a person with an avoidant attachment style decides to enter the dating scene? Most avoidantly attached people are seeking casual things and don't like long-term commitment because they see it as an attempt to restrict their freedom. But in case they decide to look for something more serious, it's quite common to be attracted to other insecurely attached people, predominantly anxious and disorganized, fearful avoidant types. Since people with an avoidant attachment style put their independence above anything else, it's quite common for them to fear closeness, intimacy, and find problems in the relationship early on. They're the ones more likely to walk away instead of fight for the relationship and require a lot more space than the other types. A common dating behavior is ghosting, finding reasons not to reach out to the other person or feeling suffocated if they receive even a casual amount of calls or messages. They're the most difficult type to pin down because they struggle with vulnerability and constantly find excuses not to open up. Anxious and avoidant type getting together is a common pattern because they're feeding off of their insecurities and creating a toxic push-pull dynamic. The only way for such a relationship to survive and even thrive is for the anxious type to become more self-sufficient and work on their abandonment issues, and the avoidant type to open up, show vulnerability, and work on their intimacy issues. Now, before we move on to my next point, I want to invite you to my free masterclass, 3 Confidence Secrets Every Woman Needs to Know. Just click the first link in the description box below or head over to coachsimone.com/masterclass. So far, we've talked about the potential signs of having an avoidant attachment style and how people who are avoidantly attached usually act like in relationships. Now let's talk about what happens once a relationship ends. Depending on the relationship, avoidantly attached people react differently to a breakup. If the relationship was with another insecurely attached person, they'll be more likely to feel this strong pull to come back, especially if the other person starts ignoring them completely. Which is ironic, because more often than not, the avoidantly attached is the one who initiates the breakup in the first place. If the relationship with a secure person ended and the respect was mutual, it's possible for the avoidant person to move on without giving it a second thought, since they like spending time alone and enjoy any opportunity to work on their goals. Now, if you want to learn more about how to heal from a breakup with an avoidant ex or how to navigate a relationship as an avoidant, I will make separate episodes on all of these topics, so make sure to subscribe if you want to get notified. Now let's go back to being an avoidantly attached person. Maybe it worked for you in the past, but now you start seeing it as a problem because you can't form a strong emotional bond with your romantic partners. So how can you heal your avoidant attachment style and become more secure? One thing you can work on is becoming more open, vulnerable, and willing to put in the work to make the relationship last. Let's start with being more open. The first step you can take is saying what you want or need in a relationship instead of being silent or dismissive. For example, you need your personal space and like to spend time alone. Communicate that with your partner. When you feel like they're suffocating you, be gentle with them and say that you need some time to process things. The more open you are, the less the other person is going to disregard your boundaries. The very thing that you're running away from is something you're unconsciously creating yourself. The best part about this is that you have the power to change it. Now let's talk about vulnerability. How can you be vulnerable with this person when you feel rejection, criticism, and being discarded for who you really are on the inside? You can start small by sharing a small detail about yourself. Don't go for your deepest, darkest secrets. Pick something mundane that you would like them to know. Once the person next to you proves to be trustworthy in time, you can show even more vulnerability. You can express your feelings and see that it's not as bad as you thought it would be. I know it might be difficult at first, but you deserve to build a healthy and strong relationship. And the only way to do that is to be willing to put in the work. So what does this mean? Next time your partner is excited about something, don't curb their enthusiasm. Or next time they communicate a boundary, don't dismiss it, simply because it's different from yours. Become a better listener by being non-judgmental. Work on the relationship by choosing to stay instead of following your instinct to flee. Catch yourself when you start playing games, because the only game that you're actually playing is the one where you keep yourself safe at the expense of an amazing, loving, passionate, and trusting partnership. Maybe the one that you actually need. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed this podcast episode, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.